Hello, beautiful people. Honest Am here, the creator and writer of the Honestly Sis newsletter, a bi-weekly newsletter geared towards millennials who are truly trying to get their shit together. And I am here for another daily motivational video where we use the tarot to become the alchemists of our lives. A little bit about me. I do not just use the tarot. I use God and cusses in the same sentence, and I may mispronounce some things, but if it does not stop Charlemagne the God, it will not stop me. Angel number 23 and angel number 12. Y'all, I'm hot. I have to cool down for a minute. I've been moving around, just got a shower. You know how you just still kind of sweating? I'm just trying to calm down. How are you guys doing today? I hope that whenever you find this message, whenever it comes to you, it's doing great. If you ever want to know more about me or you want to join Honestly Sis, all that information is down below. If you want to contact me or donate to my journey in any way, I would love that. And also, just know you liking and subscribing, that means more than the world to me. All I need to know is that you're there and that you're feeling me, and we're good to go, okay? All right, let's get into it. God, what messages do you have for us to become the alchemists of our lives, to help bring heaven on earth, or just to do magic in public? Ooh, what is going on? God, what information do you have for us to become the alchemists of our lives, to help do magic in public, or just to any information that you feel like we should hear at this time? In God's name I pray. Okay, sorry about that, y'all. I lost my little pen, so I can't really do what I want to do. Hopefully I can make it. Ooh, damn it. I did not mean to do that. So we got 4 cards that came out, and the first 2 cards that came out is Courage and Tenderness. And I actually really do love these 2 cards coming out together, because with this message of courage, as we see, it's this angel taking this leap of faith. But then we have tenderness on here, and I feel like what God is saying is that so often we hear this narrative of, in order to make it, in order to be successful, you have to take these major leaps of faith. You got to just jump out the window, quit your job, really go after it. But we have to know that God heard our prayer. God knew exactly where we were when we asked him for the things that we asked him for. So instead of thinking about doing these big, large leaps of faith, I feel like God is saying, have the courage to do the baby steps to get to your goal. Have the courage to be kind to yourself, angel number 222. Letting you know that it's possible, but just be kind to yourself as you go through this process, and God will never ask you to do something that you're not ready for. He wouldn't put you in a situation that you're not prepared for. So if you have been considering you want to, change your life, you want to change your career, or you just want something, you want some type of movement in your life, I feel like what God is saying, instead of thinking about those big major things that you can do, think about those small baby steps. So I'm always going to use the example of myself. I want to be, my goal is to be a writer, director, actress, right? That's a huge ass goal. How the fuck do you even start there? Well, I'm going to start at the writing step. And as much as there's this part of me that's I need to move to Atlanta, I need to do this, I have to know that God knew exactly where I was when I made this prayer. And so my baby steps is, working on my novel, working on Honestly Sis, working on these videos, just cultivating my skill set so that when the time comes for me to maybe make that big leap, or however God has it for me, I'll be prepared for it. So I feel like God is saying, just don't get caught up on making these giant steps, and just worry about doing those day-to-day small steps to get to your goals. If you want to be an actress, if you want to be a model, start working on your body, start working on your, making sure that you have your eating habits together, making sure you have your wardrobe together. If you want to get a Fendi, say you want to be a Fendi ambassador, start having photo shoots with Fendi products. It's we have to realize you have to put yourself, in this day and age, you have to advertise and put yourself in the arena that you want to be in. And so if you want to be a model, or you want to be an actress, and you haven't done anything towards that, or it doesn't show any evidence of that on your IG channel, then that is something that you could do to help you get there. Angel number 409. The last message that God has is expansiveness and purpose. And I feel like what God is saying is that, ultimately your purpose is going to lead you to expansiveness. God put us in this world. God put us in this body. Well, actually our soul came to have this experience. Our soul came to evolve. And so that's why you feel depressed, and that's why you feel stuck, because you're not evolving, because you're not changing, because you're doing the same thing over and over. And so you're feeling this uneasiness because your body is ready to have an expansiveness. Your soul wants to find its soul purpose. And God is saying, you don't have to worry about having a large amount of courage. You don't have to worry about taking these big leap of faith, but you can really take the baby steps to get there. Let's get some tarot to just clarify this message. God, clarify this message of courage, tenderness, expansiveness, and purpose. What are you trying to get us to understand about taking baby steps and being kind with ourselves as we go on this journey to expand our consciousness, to expand our reach? How do we take the baby steps to get to our purpose, God? Make it as plain as possible. Allow no room for doubt and confusion. So I'm going to just do one at the top, one at the bottom. Okay. So I just did 2 cards because I don't want to make this like a super long message. Angel number 544. So the message that came out is the King of Wands. And the King of Wands is, the wand suit is all about passion. The wand suit is all about taking that inspired idea and really bringing it about. And so what God is saying is, I gave you an idea. I gave you a vision of how you can run your life. So whether that was a idea for a movie, or whether that was an idea to create a certain type of sound, like whatever it is, you know, the conversations that you have had with your God, angel number 616. And so God is saying, just have the courage to do it. Also with this message of tenderness, I feel like what God is saying is that He knows your shortcomings, and he knows your areas of strength, and he knows your areas of struggle. And he wants you to know that as you go through this process of becoming the King of Wands, he's going to provide you the resources every single step of the way. So whenever you come against obstacles, there's no need to beat yourself up. There's no need to say that God forgot about you. There's no need to say that this isn't for you. God is saying, be kind to yourself. Know that obviously if any obstacles come about as you're on your way to becoming the King of Wands, know that is there to ultimately help you on your journey, help you on your purpose to become the best person that you can be. Angel number 707, it reminds me of that Bible quote. I think it's 1 Corinthians, count it no joy when you come across trials or tribulations of any kind, knowing that it will ultimately work for your good. And so I feel like what God is saying is that we have to understand that as we're on this road to, becoming the alchemist of our lives, or realizing these big dreams. And God, I want to say, let me know how you feel about alchemists. About to comments out. But anyways, as we are trying to change our life, it's a hard process. And sometimes when we get these roadblocks, or when we come across areas of struggle, we think that this is God punishing us. But God is not a punishing God. God is not Santa Claus. He's not keeping a list. Like, God wants what you want. And so if anything is coming up, we have to know that our soul chose to go through that experience to help us become this King of Wands. So let's start looking at our trials and low-key our inconveniences, looking at those moments of inconvenience, and really, instead of getting mad, try to understand what they're trying to teach us. Angel number 816. The other card that came out with expansiveness and purpose is the Two of Swords. And so I feel like what God is saying is that you are currently at this crossroads. I felt it a little bit in the beginning, where it's like there's this a little bit of an aggravate. It's like you want to change. This is what I feel like. I feel like you've prayed to God about a change that you want to make, and you feel as though God has not answered your prayers. But what I also feel like is that God gave you an idea. You asked God for something, and God gave you an idea. And I feel like we keep thinking that when we pray to God, it's going to be, every time we pray to God, it's going to be this big tangible thing. Somebody's going to call us. Somebody's going to give us a job offer. Somebody's going to give us money. But sometimes it's not those things. Sometimes it's not those tangible gifts that we can see. Sometimes it's those spiritual gifts. Sometimes it's those ideas that we have to work to bring them to life. And so I feel like what God is saying, in order to get the expansiveness that you ultimately want, in order to truly walk in your purpose, you are going to have to make a decision if you're going to look at the truth of your situation. You're going to make a decision if you're going to trust your emotions, if you're going to trust your intuition, if you're going to trust those nudges that come up, if you're going to look at those moments of, with this moon here, those moments of illusion and doubt and confusion. Are you going to overcome it, or are you going to stay stuck? Like, that is something that you have to decide. Also, with this Two of Swords coming up, I feel like God is also saying that you have to the swords is about communication. And I feel like God is saying you need to speak over your life differently. When you do have these trials, when you do have stuff come up, I feel like sometimes you just bury your head in the sand and you don't want to acknowledge it. But God is saying that's not the way to go about it. You need to look at every single moment, every single inconvenience, every single fear, look it in the eye, because once you do it, you will realize that it really doesn't have any fear over it. It doesn't have any power over you. We know that fear stands for false evidence appearing real. I'm gonna tell you just a quick little story. One of my worst fears was to spend my birthday alone. I never wanted to spend my birthday alone. Like I mean, I have done so much shit to, make sure that I don't spend my birthday alone. In my eyes, in my ideal world, my birthday is a big deal. Everybody loves my birthday. It's a fucking holiday. I would love to be like Mariah Carey for my birthday, But unfortunately, the people in my life has not always gotten that memo. And so my birthday and like low-key holidays, like it's these moments that's supposed to, signify happiness and celebration. They always just turn out just chaotic. And I recognize that that's a pattern from my childhood. And so I was like, I'm going to break this fucking pattern. Like, I don't want to live like this anymore. I want to just have a clean slate. And so for me to have a clean slate, I decided for this birthday, my 32nd birthday, that I was going to spend it alone. I went on a solo vacation. I bought myself an ice cream cake. Like, I just was like, this is my year. I just want to do this for myself. Like, I felt like it was necessary for me to do it. Angel number 1123. And all that day, I just had like all this anxiety in me. And like, y'all, it was like, I was just so scared. Like, I don't know. I was just like so nervous and I was just on edge a little bit. I was crying a lot. I was hella emotional. But then as soon as midnight struck, this feeling came over me because it was like I survived it and I was okay and I was happy and I don't know. And it was like I was singing happy birthday to myself, but it felt like there was like 50, 60 people in the room with me because it just felt like I just had this like graduation moment. It was just like, wow, I did it. Like, I really survived this moment that I thought was going to be so horrible, and it turned out not to be as horrible as I thought it was. It was actually really relaxing. It was actually really peaceful. I went on this vacation and I thought like, it was like, I always had this fear like everybody's looking like, oh, she's a loser. And it's like, people are so fucking in their world that they don't even care what you're doing. I had the best time ever on the beach by myself, reading my book. And so I say to you, like, instead of, moving in fear, instead of being afraid to do certain things, test yourself, face your fears, because I promise you, on the other side is freedom. And I say that from experience. Okay, God, give us one tool that we can use to help us take baby steps towards our dreams. Give us one tool that we can use to face our fears and to make that decision to walk in our purpose and to make decisions in love, and decisions that are going to lead us to expansiveness. I feel as though God is saying, I have blessing for you. I have people for you. I have help for you, but I can't give it to you if you refuse to move. Okay, God, just give us one card. Make it as plain as possible. And he gave us two. The two cards that came out is rather than complaining, I will focus on the positive aspects. I was just talking about that. So often we are so entrenched on just focusing on the bad or focusing on shit we have no control over. And when we do that, of course, we're going to feel powerless because angel number 1333, we have no control over it, right? So why not focus on the things that you can control? And honestly, I found that in the most random place. I was watching Too Hot to Handle. I haven't finished it, and I don't think I'm going back. But it was just this episode that I was watching. This guy was like, yeah, you got to focus on what you can control. And I was just like, yeah, duh. Like, why would you want to focus on anything else? Like, why would you spend your energy focusing on things that you literally have no control over? That sounds like insanity. That sounds like you're setting yourself up for failure. Yes? When you focus upon lack and an attitude of complaining, you establish a vibrational point of attraction that only gives you access to more thoughts of complaint. Your deliberate effort to tell a new story will establish a new pattern of thought, providing you with a new point of attraction from your present about your past and into your future. The simple effort of looking for positive aspects will set a new vibrational tone that will begin to immediately attract attraction of thoughts, people, circumstances, and things that are pleasing to you. The other day, this is another random story, but the other day I was in Kroger's, grocery shopping, and I was just looking at the bananas, and like all of the bananas were like fucked up. I was just like, damn, like I can't even find 2 or 3 bananas that were fine. And so, I'm talking to the guy, he's putting the bananas out. I'm like, hey, how's your day going? How's everything been? Just talking to him, not because I'm trying to get nothing out of him, but because he's another human being. We made eye contact and I'm just talking to him. And so I'm talking to him, we say our little niceties, and then I go back to looking at the damn bananas. And then he's like, you can't find you a banana that you like? And I was like, no, they're just all so beat up. And he's like, well, that's because they ordered too many. Engine number 1520. He's like, you know what? I'll be right back. I'm about to go see if I can get you another banana. This man stopped what he was doing, went out of his way, went and found me 2 perfect bananas. Now, I know for you, you're like, what that's a big deal. But it goes to show you. And that was a white man. This wasn't a black, it's a white man. The world wants us to feel like we're so divided and that we black and whites against each other. But no, that's not the case. And if you walk in this world, if you actually interact with people, people don't act like that. And the people who feel that way don't have the balls to say it in your face. And the ones that do have the balls to say it in your face are normally the broke down ones that fucking is riding a bike and homeless and looks like shit anyway. So it's like, why would I even, it's like, where are we really giving our power to? Like we have the choice to give our power to what we give our power to. And so you can look at that story and you could just be like, oh, well, whatever. He just gave you some bananas. Or you can look at that story and be like, damn. See what happens, even in the smallest thing as going to the grocery store, when you approach life with a different attitude, how life approach you. That man didn't have to go get me the bananas. Like he literally stopped, went out his way and came back and got me the bananas. Did not have to do it. It was like, low key, don't tell nobody because, these aren't supposed to come out until Friday. Just because I saw him, just because I recognized the humanity in him, we need to do more of that. And I say all that to say that when you operate in a way that you want to see the best in the world, when you want to see the best in people, the world has no choice. The universe, let me not say the world, because the world and the universe are 2 different things. The universe has no choice but to show you evidence of good people. And also, this is something that I realized when I went on my trip. I was so scared of, I guess, being alone when I go on these trips or whatever. But then I realized I'm me. And I don't say that to be cocky or to be arrogant, but to be like, I'm the most friendly I'm the person that as I'm catching the bus, I'm having philosophy, deep ass conversation with the guy I catch the bus with every day. I'm the person that's had random deep conversations with people in the restaurant, angel number 1750. So why would I be afraid to go out and travel? What I'm saying to you is when you're truth to yourself, when you're grounded in yourself, when you're grounded in knowing who you are and you're connected to your source and you know that the universe is abundant and you know that the world and that people are genuinely good people, the universe has no choice but to show you that. And so it's not hard for you to go out and travel because guess what? You're going to go into other like-minded people. You're going to attract different versions of yourself. That man at Kroger's was nothing but my soul in a Kroger's place. I've been there before. Once we realize that we're all the same, we can stop all this petty bullshit. We can stop all this, oh, you're light skinned, oh, you're dark skinned, oh, you're white, oh, you're black, oh, you're poor, oh, you're rich, because at the end of the day, we've all been it. Our soul have experienced it all. And depending on where you are, your soul is trying to have an evolution. And so if you are a privileged person, I would be very kind. I would be very, very kind and very mindful of how I treat people who don't have what I have. Because baby, you don't know what your soul came here to do. Your soul could have came here to have your ass on a mountaintop and to drag your ass back down. You don't know what your soul is trying to evolve to do. So it will behoove you to treat everyone how you would like to be treated. Oh, I got an attitude. I don't know who that's for. Angel number 1920, but that irritated me. I don't know who that is for, but You are in your position of privilege not to look down on people. If God has blessed you to be in a position of privilege, you're in that position of privilege to either share that privilege. Actually, you are in there to share that privilege to somebody, whether that's sharing your resources, whether that's sharing your time, or whether that's sharing your energy. Angel number 1945. We're not doing this shit for ourselves. Even your goal, even your dream, it ain't even about you. Yes, it's going to make you feel better. Yes, it's going to bring you into balance, but it ain't really truly about you. Angel number 2002. God needs you to get in position so that the next person can see you in that position and be like, oh, maybe I can do it too. But if you keep being scared, if you keep moving in fear, then nobody else can. Do you feel me? What if the world was in chaos because so many of us are trying to be what the world wants us to be, and we're not being in the positions where God designed us and destined for us to be? We could be held back. Progress would be held back because you chose not to have the courage to walk your path. When you feel gratitude, often you are looking at a difficulty that you have overcome, but there is still some of that struggle vibration present. The state of appreciation is seeing whatever you are looking at through the eyes of source. You could walk down the street, and this card. This came under this tenderness and purpose. Why is this important, guys? Appreciation and vibrational are two different vibrational sets. It says when you have gratitude for something, there's still a bit of that struggle vibration, right? You grateful for God getting you through that fucked up relationship, right? But you still feel a little bit of resentment that you had to even go through that relationship. What God wants you to understand with this tenderness, with this purpose, with looking at things from his point of view. 9 times out of 10, you probably wasn't even supposed to be in that relationship. So what you really should be mad at yourself because you chose to override what your soul told you to do. So the attitude, the resentment that you feel really should be inward because you chose to go down that path. We have to understand, guys, God is observing us. He created us. He did not come to create and uncreate our circumstances. You put yourself in that position, and that's why you feel the way you feel. And so if you were to look at things from God's point of view, from God's perspective, you would stop taking shit so personal because you will recognize that everything is not really about you. Angel number 2222. You will recognize that though I have fucked up parents, though I have parents that were not there to nurture me and there to guide me, my soul chose to come into that environment so that I can learn to grow and nurture and provide for myself so that I could teach other people who were not able to be nurtured and grown and provided for, to teach them how to build their self up so that we can have a new generation of people who can learn how to grow and provide and to nurture for their children. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Did you miss it? What I'm saying is God put you in these positions because he needs you to figure out how to get out so you can teach other people how to get out your situations. Why do we love Jay-Z so much? Why do we love Kanye so much? Hell, why do we love Beyonce so much? Why do we love Rihanna so much? What are they teaching us? What are they showing us? You think about it. Why? Why do you feel so connected to the people you feel connected to? We say these things so much that we don't really interpret it. We say like attract like. That's easy to think in the sense of the law of attraction and manifestation, but we don't look at it as if I be in myself, if I be true to myself, then the universe has no choice but to put me in an environment with people who's like me, right? We don't look at it as like attract like if I'm so attracted to the Jay-Z's, the Beyoncé's, the Oprahs of the world, maybe my soul, we don't look at it that way. Courage, tenderness, expansiveness, and purpose. God, clarify this message of the King of Wands with the Two of Swords. What are you trying to get us to understand about two of these things, about the positive aspects? Your negative ass thinking. I know this is hard to understand because they have brainwashed us into thinking that the power is outside of ourselves. But baby, I know you like, oh, it's just as simple as me thinking positive. Have you tried it though? Have you tried it? I know you haven't. November 2510. I know you haven't. Like, you're so turned off. You want to turn off of this video just because you got a negative ass attitude. Try it. I dare you. 30 days. 30 days of positive thinking. 30 days of positive thinking. 30 days of positive thinking. Receiving, and what do you feel? We're going to focus on receiving. What do you feel? This Two of Swords. You feel yourself. You feel... Shockanu. You feel it coming. You feel your body telling you to move. Guys, that's why I'm telling you. Let me calm down. That's why I'm telling you. You don't need a big picture. Your body is literally... I just read this in the Conversation with God. Okay. Let's break this concept down. Mind, body, spirit, right? We know our mind... Beautiful, powerful computer system. Yes. Soul, the thing that's connected to source, our God-given power was housed in this body. The problem is we've allowed our mind and our body to run our life for so long. And so now you're at this, the reason why you're feeling so discontent, especially if it just happened like overnight, angel number 2650. Because your soul is waking up. Your soul is like, oh shit, she recognized where I'm at. She recognized I'm here. Let's go. Like, your soul is ready to go. Your soul is like, okay, I want to have these experiences now that she recognized me. And that's why people can get a little manic, because their soul is just so eager to run forward. But the trifecta, where we need to be, and that's not for the deltas, Lord Jesus, don't kill me. That's not for the deltas, though. We can throw up the rock, okay? The trifecta. Mind, body, spirit is all of it working in one. Why is this so important to understand? Because when your mind, body, and spirit is all walking in one, that's how you become the alchemist. That's how you are in the spiritual being. That's why you are enlightened. That's why it's so important for you to be able to go through your emotions, because your emotions is the guidance system. Your emotions is what's going to help you and tell you which way to move. Yes? When your soul is awakening, your soul is your body is starting to service your soul, your body is going to naturally tell you, oh, it's time to move. Oh, it's time to go. You know you feel it. You sitting there, we've been sitting on our couch for months and months, and all of a sudden your body is like, I want to go walk. I want to go work out. I want to go to the gym. You ain't never ever thought like that. But now all of a sudden you like, oh, I just want to work out. Oh, I just want to do yoga. That's like your soul, your body's starting to listen to your soul. Now, if only you could just let those things, let your mind do a backseat. It's not saying that we don't need our mind. We do need our mind. But it's like we have to have it all, the perfect trifecta. So if you listen to when you get those nudges, if you just trust it, when those moments of doubt come up, you say, nope. Everything is as it should be. The universe is for me, and so is everything else. My bad days are behind me. That's why affirmations is so important, angel number 29. Affirmations are important because you can't just change your life just by saying affirmations every day. But if you are saying those affirmations every day, coupling it with action, that's how you change your life. That's why you put these vision boards up. You say these things every once in a while. You're like, why is my life changing? Because it's a 3-part process. I hope you understood that. Let's get into this message of receiving. The reason why I feel like this message of receiving is so important. Ooh, spirals of manifestation. Blessings coming in, y'all. Whew, blessings are coming in. It's because look at that. Six of Pentacles came out. And so I feel like God is trying to give us something, but I feel like we are in the way of receiving this wonderful blessing. So let's see what is going on with this. You are so loved. Your every need is witnessed and responded to by the universe. However, you sometimes forget this. You become swept up in the momentum of habitual consciousness, and you forget to take a moment to stop, breathe, and be. In that moment, you can receive the love of the universe that is receiving you. It will nourish you with contentment and energy. You have not done this enough, so your soul is becoming parched and is drying out. Energy has been going out of you, but there's not enough energy coming back in. It is time to bring something back in for you, to receive and be received. You are being offered a chance for restoration now, to feel nourished, cared for, and loved. Accept it. You deserve it. The healing process below will help you surrender any guilt or shame you feel for having needs in the first place. It will also help you overcome any struggle that you have receiving and accepting so that your needs can be met. Do you know how much joy the universe gains from being able to give to you? Angel number 31. I want to cry when I said that. See, y'all don't understand. Let me just say, I'm sorry, I have to say this. Because we speak about it. Like, go ancestors, go spirits. But y'all have to understand, they need us too. Just as we're trying to evolve, they're trying to evolve. And so when we allow them to help us, when we call out to them, when we ask them for their help, they're grateful. Angel number 3131, because they get to help you, but then they also get to evolve in their process. God's will for you is the will that God has for you is the will that you have for yourself. And so when you're happy, God is happy. That soul part of you, that's God. So what does that tell you? If that's in you, what did that tell you? Who did that tell you who you are? And so if you keep denying that part of you, that's why I feel so bad. That's why you feel such a disconnection. People talk about meditation and yoga and all this stuff. Yes, it's great. It makes you feel amazing. But it's really to stop, to slow yourself down. If you've never, ever had a moment to just stop and think about your life and really just say like, oh my God, how have I got here? So often we've been in this survival mentality that we haven't even had a chance to really sit with ourselves and think about how we've gotten ourselves to the positions that we've gotten ourselves into. And so that's why we need to take that moment to meditate. That's why we need to do morning pages. That's why we need to do yoga. These are tools to help you connect to yourself, to get back to your God source. Because the world, society, everything has been trying to take it away from us. Angel number 33. When you delight in what you receive, I'm going to start over. Do you know how much joy the universe gains from being able to give to you? When you delight in what you receive, when you openly embrace a gift you are so happy with, the universe is fully received by you. In this space, there is joyful communion between you and life. Energy flows more freely and magic happens. When you dimmer saying you cannot accept, that it is too great of a gift, or that you are not worthy, you are impeding on that flow. You are inhibiting the communion, the connection, the playful interaction between you and the universe. Enough with the false modesties and guilt. You are a radiant sun in human clothing. An exquisite life experience is your birthright. Enjoy it. Suck it up, all of it, including the restoration of sacred rest. From that place of nourishment, you will receive more effortlessly. From that place of nourishment, you will more effortlessly create, live, and love with greater energy and thriving, pulsating passion. The earth rests each day so it can greet the sun again each morning with the spectacular living art of sunrise. Allow yourself to switch off. Step away, close the laptop, switch off the phone, and just be with yourself for a little while. You will return and be more efficient and effective. Rest now, play now, and work later. Forget your worries for a while. Switch off, do something else, let it go, let it all flow. Angel number 3437. I don't know about you. That's why these videos have been coming out a little bit slower, but I haven't really been able to create the way that I want to create. And I'm no longer feeling guilty about that. Like I told you guys, I'm learning to trust my flows. Last month, I was realizing like, damn, I haven't wrote an article for Honesty Sis in so long. And then last week, I wrote 3 articles. And it wasn't even like I was trying to write these articles. It was just that I was inspired to write these articles. And so again, I got to this week and I'm like, oh, I'm going to put out a letter for Honesty Sis. And it was like, again, delay. And it's like, instead of fighting what our body is telling us it needs, accept it and receive it. Maybe you've been working so hard, not giving God an opportunity to bless you, not giving the universe an opportunity to put its blessings on you. Let's slow down so we can receive it. All right, guys, if that is your wish, put your hand on your heart and touch and agree with me as I say this. I release all false guilt and shame about having needs and false beliefs about rest being wasteful, or unnecessary. I release all false guilt and shame about having needs and all false belief about rest being wasteful or necessary. I accept healthy, productive, sacred rest and the gifts of happiness that it brings. I understand that rest and activity balance, feed, and nourish each other. There is sacred healing that happens through rest, which is very powerful. I accept and receive this now through unconditional love. This is so. I release all false guilt and shame about having needs and false belief about rest being wasteful or unnecessary. I accept healthy, productive, sacred rest and the gifts of happiness that it brings. I understand that rest and activity balance, feed, and nourish each other. There is sacred healing that happens through rest, which is very powerful. I accept and receive this now through unconditional love. This is so. I release all false belief and shame about having needs. I release all false guilt and shame about having needs and all false beliefs about rest being wasteful or unnecessary. I accept healthy, productive, sacred rest and the gifts of happiness that it brings. I understand that rest and activity balance, feed, and nourish each other. That is sacred healing that happens through rest, which is very powerful. I accept and receive this now through unconditional love. This is so. Angel number 3725. Guys, we hold up to 7 bloodlines in our blood. I don't know about you, but me and my brother has found out that slavery is only 3 generations in my blood. So just imagine how much of that work, put my needs aside, being a slave to somebody else is in my blood. And we have to overcome that. We have to strip that from us and let us know that our bodies deserve to be rest. Our bodies deserve to be listened to. Our needs, our desires, our wants, our visions, our dreams, they are all valid. And so if that is your wish, call it all in and take back control of your life. All right, y'all. That's all the messages I have for you. If it was beneficial for you, please, please, please give me a thumbs up. If not, at least subscribe so you will never miss out. Until we meet again, dream those dreams. Never let the internet rush you, and never, ever let someone tell you what you cannot do. Namaste. Angel number 3828. Take care.